Alright guys, welcome back. It's going to be an interesting video in dynamics from Meriam textbook, and we have in the design of a space station to operate outside the Earth's gravitational field. It's desired to give the structure a rotational speed n, which will simulate the effect of the Earth's gravity for members of the crew. So basically we have this person that is standing up here, and what we are trying to do is that to give, based on this rotational speed or angular velocity that we have it, we usually show it with omega to kind of give that idea or to kind of simulate the Earth's gravity, which means the person is going to put a force on this floor that I showed in blue. So basically what's going to happen is that if we look at this center, the person is going to be somewhere in here, and there's going to be a force applying to that person, which is basically the force of the weight. We call it mg because we are trying to simulate that. And because of this rotational velocity or angular velocity that we are talking about, we're going to give that impression. So as always, we're going to start with sum of all forces along this direction. We can call it n, which is equal to mass times acceleration or normal acceleration, centripetal acceleration. All these are the same. So we defined the normal acceleration in the previous video, v squared over rho. But we need to keep in mind that this velocity is tangential velocity, is not angular velocity. So this formula can be also written as rho times omega squared. Some people show this rho with r2, which is basically the radius of the curvature. In this case, it's going to be 12. So these are the two formulas that we have. One thing that you need to keep in mind that our velocity, if we're going with SI units, is meter per second, and omega is radian per second. So we just have to watch for the units in here. That's the tricky part. That might lead us to wrong number. But let's just finish the rest of the question. If the centers of the crew's quarters are to be located 12 meters from the axis of the rotation. Again, we talked about it. This is basically our rho or r, or the radius of our circular path that we have. We need to calculate the the necessary rotational speed n. So we're looking for n or omega in here of this spacing station in revolutions per minute. So this is critical for us because we are looking for RPM, not radian per second. So we need another unit conversion in here again because we don't need that. So let's just get back to our main formula. So basically mg is our force that we have, and this is going to be equal to m times an, and we're going to write it as r times omega squared times n. Obviously we can cancel out the m's, and what we're going to have is basically our omega squared is g over r. So I'm looking at these two. So omega, which is also n in here, is going to be the square root of g over r. So let's figure that one out. So our rotational speed or velocity. One thing about speed and velocity, keep in mind that the speed and velocity are not the same. Speed is a scalar component, whereas the velocity is a vector. So it has both magnitude and direction. So our g in here, because we have all this I units, our g is going to be 9.81 meter per second square. I'm just going to show the units because we need to be consistent. Our r is 12 meters, so that's all good. We can cancel this out. So our w would be the square root of 9.81 divided by 12, and yeah, that's going to give us 0.904. And as I mentioned, that formula is going to give us radian per second. But that's not what we're looking for. What we're looking for, as I mentioned, is revolution per minute or RPM. So we have to do our unit conversion here. So 0.904 radian per second. So let's get rid of the radian. So we need revolution per radian. That way we can get rid of the radian, and also we need minute in our denominator. That's how we get rid of seconds, and yeah, we just have to figure out what's the relationship. So we know 1 minute is 60 seconds. This is pretty easy. And one revolution is equal to, so basically if we look at a circle here, And start from this point, going back where we started, this is going to be 360 degrees, right? And that's 1 revolution. This is also equal to, if you want to report it as radian, it's going to be 2 pi. So 1 revolution is basically equal to 2 pi. Again, we need to put the value in here in radian, not in degrees. That's another mistake. So this is going to give us what we are looking for. So 0.904 times 60 divided by 2. And yeah, that's going to be 8.63 RPM or revolutions per minute. So it's going to be our final answer. Again, a couple of things that there is a difference between the angular velocity and the tangential velocity, which is the formula that we used like before. We mostly use this in the previous videos, but keep in mind that it can be also written, the precipitable acceleration can be written as angular velocity as well. Just watch for the units. Again, it has to be in radian what you get. And if the question specifically asks for revolution per minute, we just have to do this quick unit conversion to get to the final answer. Hope everything was clear. Let me know if you guys have any questions. You guys take care. I'll see you in the next video.